Hi guys, my name is Vivek and welcome back to my channel Mostly Programming. This is lesson 30 of learning Python scripting from scratch. In today's video we are going to discuss that how to accept array values from the user in Python. The scope for today's video is we are going to see how to accept array values from the user in Python and also how to search for a particular element inside an array without using any inbuilt modules. I hope the scope is now clear. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. But before that, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do that right now because it's free. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss an update from Mostly Programming. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram because we come up with new practice sessions and quizzes on a daily basis. It is @Mostly Programming, so follow us right now. Let's go to PyCharm and practice, because this is a practical problem and there is no need to understand the theory, right? So let's go to PyCharm. So we need to import the array module, definitely. From array import star, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply create a new array. But understand our aim here. We have to prompt the user to give us the elements for the array, and we don't know how long the array would be, so we don't know the size of the array. So we need to ask the user about the size of the array, and we need to ask the user about the elements. What elements does he want to have inside the array? So let us first create an empty array for that, and how to do so is very simple. And we have our empty array. This is an empty array, right? So the next step would be to ask user for the length of the array, the size of the array. So I'm going to use a variable size equals to, and I'm going to prompt user to give me the size of array. You can ask it in the question form, what is the size of the array, or whatever you want. So I got the size, right? So now I need to prompt the user to give me a value, right? So I need to run a loop that many times as the size of the array. So what I'll simply do for I in range of what? Size, right? Then here what I'm simply going to do, take up a variable and ask user to give me a value that you want to store inside the array. So I'm just simply going to write give me a value. Give me a value, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to append that value to the empty array. So here we are done. So now out of the loop, simply what I have to do, print the value of the array. So this should work, I guess. Let's run it. Size of array, I want it to be 5. Give me a value 1. Give me a value 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our array. So we are done. Now we know how to prompt the user to give us an array. It's pretty amazing, right? It's a very easy code and it is logical. There is no rocket science in this particular code. It's clearly very easy code. What we are doing, we are importing the array module. We are importing all the classes from it. Then we are creating an empty array. Then I am prompting the user to give me the size of the array. Then I am looping, iterating over that particular range as the size of the array is. Then one by one I'm asking the user to give me a value, and that value should be of integer type, and then I'm putting it inside the variable x. Then I'm appending that particular value to the array, and then I'm printing the value. So it is a pretty easy, just 7-line code to prompt user to give us the value. So now we have prompted the user to give us the value. Our next task is to search for an element inside that array, and that is pretty amazing. It's a really amazing concept. First we are going to do it manually without using any modules. Then I'm going to show you how you can use an inbuilt module to do the same. So what do we need for this? We need the value that we want to search for. So I'm going to take a variable val, then I'm going to prompt the user to give me the value, right? Value to search for, Now we have the value that we want to search for. Now we need a thing where we are going to search for this value, and that thing here is the array that we have. So we are going to loop over this array. We are going to simply loop over this array, and then I need to compare two things: the value that I want to search for with the value inside the elements. So the value inside the value inside the array is represented by j. So I'm going to check if j is equal to value. Right? If j is equal to value, then what I want to print the index number of that. But we don't know what is the index number. So here what do? We have to take a counter variable which is initiated to 0. Now when we get our value that we have searched for, we got the index number. I want my loop to end, so I'm going to use a break statement. So out of the loop I need to increment my k variable. So we get that, right? So let me run this whole code now. Let me just show you once. Then I'm going to run this. So what is happening here? I'm importing the array module. I'm taking an empty array. I'm getting the size of the array from the user. Then I am iterating over that size and asking user to give me a value one by one. And I'm taking that value, storing it in a variable x. Then I'm appending that value to the array. Then I'm printing the array. Then I'm taking a counter variable k. Then I'm asking user for a value that he want to search for. Then I'm asking the user to enter a value that he want to search for, storing it in a variable val. Then I am iterating again inside the array. Then I'm checking if the array element is equal to the element we are searching for. If that is true, we are printing that particular iteration. We have taken a variable and we are printing that particular iteration, and we are breaking the loop there, and then we are incrementing the counter variable. I hope the code is right. Let me just run it and see if it is working properly. It is asking us for the size of the array. I'm going to say 4. Then I'm going to give some values, 1, 2, 3, 4. Array is printed. I'm going to search for the value 3. So ideally we should get 0, 1, 2. 2 as the index, which would be the output. Let's see. So we are getting 2 and the program is good to go. So let me just show you the program and the output both. Yeah. So you can see that we imported the array module. Then we asked the user for the array elements. Then we search for the array elements manually. Now the last topic for today's video is to search for the array element using an inbuilt module. And that is pretty easy. In just a single line we can do that. It would be array.index, and inside the parentheses we would have to pass the value. Suppose I'm passing 4, right? Let me just give it here 3. The value should be 4, 5, 6. So value I want to search for is 4. Right, we would get 0, 0. Here I would, instead of writing 4 directly, we are already asking for the value, so I'll just give it val. Right, so size of the array is now 5. Value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Value we're going to search for is 5, so we would get 4 as the output. I hope it is pretty clear to you now. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Or you can even DM me on my social media accounts. The link to those will be in the description box itself. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Also share with your friends and subscribe to my channel, because your subscriptions give me motivation to make more such videos. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more amazing content.